in focus? Probably. Most likely, knowing this camera. So right now, I'm on a little winter walk, enjoying the nice Minnesota weather. And I wanted to talk about the camera that I'm filming with right now and why it's still a good choice for hybrid shooters in today's market. And of course, we're talking about the Canon 70D. Still in focus, I bet. I trust this camera's autofocus. I feel like it's more stable than my YouTube income. The 70D has a special spot on my heart because it's the camera that I use to start out this YouTube with. I've since made some what I can see as lateral to regressive moves in my technological camera advancements. What I mean by that is I sold the 70D because I became emotionally and then financially invested in the monster megapixel mirrorless full frame war. So went to the Sony system, and since I've moved to the Panasonic, but one thing became the steady common denominator, and that was none of these cameras can focus like a Canon can, especially one with dual pixel autofocus. I find this dual pixel AF to be reliable AF. I'm sorry. So I wanted to revisit the 70D, and I thought I'd pop on eBay and see how much they're going for. Picked this one up for 150 bucks. Now it has a cracked sub-screen, but that's okay. It might compromise the weather sealing, but it is what it is. So, should go without saying, but I'm filming with the Canon 70D right now. And if I'm not, it's because I want you to get a nice look at what I'm talking about in regards to the body, what have you. Let's talk specs with the 70D. First, let's look at the body for its ergonomics. So it has a classic DSLR shape, a nice grip, flippy screen that is also touch compatible, and under the hood it sports that Canon 20.2 megapixel crop sensor, and oh, I should mention it's weather sealed. Now I'll show you some examples of shots I've taken with the 70D. We all know this for its video, but I don't think it should get overlooked for photography as well. Again, it has that 20.2 megapixel Canon crop sensor, which I feel is a huge advantage. Reason being is crop sensors are generally a little bit smaller but have comparable quality to their full frame brethren, and if the bodies aren't small, at least the physical lenses are. Being that this is a crop sensor, you have a 1.6 times punch in, pair that with a Digic 5 processor and dual pixel autofocus, this would be a good choice for bird in flight photography or wildlife shots of the likes. It also shoots at 7 frames per second, and again, it is weather sealed, so out in the field, you don't have to worry about much with the 70D. Right now, we are switching over to the 70D to give you a little bit of a low light vlogging test. Now, if you notice, my lens isn't the widest, but my aperture is, so this should give you a pretty good look at the dual pixel AF that the 70D was a pioneer of. Dare I say I trust this a whole lot more than even my modern, current, I'm sorry to say this, video camera systems, i.e. the contrast-based Panasonic S5 and the GH5. Those cameras might be newer, but the 70D, when it gets a hold of something in continuous AF, it doesn't let go. Now, granted, you're not going to get crazy 4K videos or bit rates with the 70D. You can download Magic Lantern if you want. We'll get into that in another video. But the full HD looks just fine for vlogging social media campaigns or on a full HD workflow, in my opinion. Of all the cameras on today's market, why would you choose this one? Well, I could tell you why I chose it. I wanted something that I could trust for vlogging, especially in inclement conditions. This is weather sealed, maybe not to the point of its professional brethren, but enough for me to take it out and not have to worry about it getting wet or bumped around in harsh conditions. And if we talk about reliability, the dual pixel autofocus is something that I could absolutely trust over a lot of modern systems on today's market. I think it would make a good B camera too if you're getting a lot of dynamic shots and you don't want to have to worry about your autofocus unlatching from your subject. That, and pair it with its touchscreen, it would make a good system for doing rack focusing without having to set up an entire kit just for that. The 70D is running at about $300 on average in today's market. And within that price range, there is other cameras you can get. I don't think they're going to be as durable or have as big and great of a lens selection as this. We're talking about the Canon EF mount. Now, because this is an EFS sensor, you also have access to some great crop sensor lenses, such as this 10 to 18 that I use for vlogging all the time. So yes, I would think it's a good tool for vloggers and a B camera for filmmakers out there, even an A camera if you're daring enough to still edit in full HD, which I think it's fine. Some people are gonna get on the 8K craze, and that's okay, let them have it. And I should also mention that you can still get Magic Lantern on the 70D if you're looking for raw recording, false colors, you name it, Magic Lantern probably has it. But on the photography side of things, the 70D is still an awesome choice. Cameras don't age like your smartphone does. A lot of these older ones are still valid in today's market. Granted, now we're seeing megapixel wars rekindle again with Fujifilm's 40 megapixel installment, but really you don't need that many megapixels to produce a large file image. While it's nice to be able to have a very forgiving crop coming from a giant file, it's not always needed. 20.2 is more than enough for almost all of your needs. And if you need more, you can always stitch or stack your images together in post-production, meaning you might need to learn some photography. That's a subject for a different video. But the 70D has crisp autofocus, a nice touch screen. It's articulating, by the way, so you can get down low, line up your verticals, or get up high when you need to. Pair that with some pretty good weather sealing. It's a crop sensor, so it's very versatile across any range of photography. But most notably, I think it would make a great wildlife photography camera. I mean, it's pretty big to today's standards, but it's still smaller than a lot of full frames out there, and you have a nice 1.6 times crop to work with if you're looking to do, say, birds of flight photography. This is a good choice for it. So yes, the Canon 70D is still a phenomenal camera on today's market, and a good choice for any kind of hybrid shooting. So that is it for now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Find me on Instagram. Goodbye.